Call the meeting to order at 7:06. And first two items were approving the minutes of December 7th and December 14th. Any comments on the December 7th minutes?
Was the comments as they're written are of course fine and clear, and Jennifer always does a great job. I was disappointed that they didn't have any explanation of why there were votes in either direction. But I don't think it's going to be added at this point, so just a comment.
Understood. Okay, any further discussion, or do we have a motion to approve the December 7th minutes?
Do we second or whatever you say?
All in favor of approving the December 7th minutes? Right.
Yep.
All opposed? Anybody opposed? Okay. December 7th are approved. And December 12th, and this was the last meeting. So same, any conversation, comments on the December 12th minutes?
Same comment.
Understood. And motion to approve.
What was your comment, Alyssa?
That there wasn't any discussion about the reasons why people voted for or against the items where there was not a unanimous decision.
Okay. Yeah, so the whole thing about people being able to go into the minutes and find out what was going on is not really the case.
Correct.
So I mean, I think these are all topics that have been discussed throughout the year, and I think a lot of that has been covered throughout the year in the minutes. But yeah, they're not reflected in that last set of minutes, correct?
I'm not sure I would say that, John, Evan. I think there was a lot of good discussion about why people, I thought, things should be different than was voted for, and that was not reflected. It should have been reflected in the minutes.
Okay. All in favor of approving the December 12th minutes? Aye.
Yep.
Aye.
All right, that's unanimous. Okay. And next is the draft report. Any comments on the report?
Well, yeah, I guess questions, Jennifer and I combined the various recommendations. I think, I forget the numbers, but there were two that were combined. I think three into one and two into another. And I guess I didn't see any feedback if that's verbiage is okay, or is any comments?
Yeah, I mean, I thought we were supposed to like do track changes, redlining on the report and send it in. Then I got an email from Beth saying that we weren't supposed to or something. So I don't really get what's going on, but
No, I think everybody.
Oh, go ahead.
My understanding was everybody had the opportunity to send it back to Carl, sending it around sequentially, or reply all, or two things that we couldn't do was my understanding, but everybody doing it individually and sending back to Carl was an opportunity for that.
which I did, but did you get it, Carl?
Yeah, and I get two. I got one from Beth and one from you, John, and we can review those independently. This is a separate question more because Beth is saying the recommendations are set based on the vote, but again, we did not talk about I'm looking at the document now, number 4 and number 7, which are the combination of 2 and 3.
Can you pull up the red line, Carl?
Nothing's red line. It's just in the doc. It's in the recommendations 4 and 7. Again, just looking. Are we okay with the verbiage? Because those were changed. Those were combinations of others. I don't know if you remember that, right? There were 2 on parking and there were 3 on maintenance. And again, if everybody's happy with them, great. But that's all I'm asking.
Yeah, I wasn't happy with it, but I doubt that my changes uh will be sustained or whatever. So, you know, if you want to just ignore them, that's okay with me. I think I'm gonna go ahead and write a letter to the board and just kind of say that, you know, what my opinions are, because they don't seem to be coming through this committee at all. And I don't want to delay things by having each point I make voted on and so forth.
Okay, so I think from a process standpoint, we could talk. This would be the forum for talking through those red lines. So John, I've not seen what your edits were.
I can show it if you guys want.
If you want us to, John, we can.
I think that'd be appropriate if you did them.
So what do? I share my screen, is that right?
Yeah, can you see where to do that?
You guys see this?
Yes.
Well, that doesn't help. That's the original document. Just trying to get John's. Here's John's. Can you guys see this?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Your screen sharing. Eesh.
So we're still seeing the original.
Do you see this?
We have the original numbers
No.
4 through 8 on the screen.
Let me see. Let me stop sharing.
Yeah, and if you do a stop
share.
share and then restart and try to pick John's.
Okay. Um, oh, this works. Does that work? That's not it again. Yeah. Oh, this one. Does that work?
Got it.
Okay. So I think what Beth was saying is that we voted on all these, but what we didn't vote on was a combination of number 4 and number 7.
Yeah,
John,
so-
I think like the rainbow trout thing. I know you say no, but that was voted on. But number 4 and 7, we never looked at. Is my point.
Yeah, right.
So-
I think conceptually we talked about what it would look like and the blending of it, but we had not seen the actual words yet.
Right.
I think that's right, Carl.
So the black on this is what Jennifer and I put together, and then the red is what John's changes are.
Okay.
So I guess that's where I'm going with this. Should we discuss those? Like,
Yep.
What we got here?
Yep. And do you also have Beth's comments?
Yeah, if you want to wait an hour, I'll get those on the screen. Let me. Actually, I'll tell you what. Can you still see it? Okay.
Yeah, we can see
All right,
John's.
let me look at my phone and let's see if she's got comments, so I don't screw this thing up. See her if she. But, yeah, but I mean, if you guys wanna start talking about it. Yeah, the phone doesn't show the edits.
Yeah, well, just on that number 4, where I just said, you know, instead of saying reduce non-membership parking via I just, you know, said, why don't we enforce the parking laws and let it go at that? I'm not really sure if we want to like just go after non-members, or just we want anyone who's illegally parking, you know, so I thought we should just cut out that non-member.
I'm fine with that. I mean, the end result, we're trying to explain why we're doing it, but we can just do enforcement if you want. That's the end
Okay,
result. The action
Yeah,
is the same, right? So,
I like that comment, John.
okay.
Okay, and
Especially since you don't have to be a member to park there. You can go in and get a daily pass, so it really wouldn't be appropriate thing to do.
Okay, so I'm good with that.
okay,
Yeah, and just the during the swimming season, I think I would probably strike that. I think it's applicable to the checking. Well, maybe it's okay. It's applicable to checking the White Pond membership at the parking lot entrance. But not necessarily to the first half of the sentence. So, but it seems to be sort of contained,
we have 2 sentences then, I mean.
or maybe
mean,
just slide it, maybe just
are
slide it
people gonna-
before the parentheses.
Yeah, because I was just wondering, are people gonna do anything about the membership parking at the parking lot when, you know, if the beach is closed, you know, what are you gonna do if the beach is closed and so people can't park there?
No, this would be during regular hours. But I will
But-
say, I mean, that's another story. I mean, in the old days when it was not town owned, they blocked the parking lot for the whole winter.
Yeah, I mean, I
Well,
don't think
that's-
that's gonna happen, is it? Or that we're recommending that?
I don't think, I'm not recommending that, but
Yeah,
that's a
and
separate topic if we want.
yeah, and that was for maybe geez, I don't know, a 10 or 15 year period prior to that. You know, I can sort of recall in the mid '90s, early '90s, it was always just open.
Yeah, that's a separate topic. So we didn't bring that up as a recommendation. So I wouldn't.
Yeah, so I'd probably just slide the during the swimming season to just before the parentheses, and then it kind of goes with that.
Okay.
A little more clearly.
But it doesn't really make sense. Now, I mean, as it's worded, enforce parking laws on the state pond, access road, surrounding roads and neighborhoods. And the checking of White Pond membership. Those two don't work together anymore, so we need to rework the wording.
It isn't end checking, it's end. It's end check. I guess I should have gotten the out of there.
Oh,
Yeah,
and-
so should we just make it, 2 sentences, period after neighborhoods? And then start with check
They're
White Pond
really
membership.
they're really two very different things.
We can leave it separate. We that was one of the things we did from last meeting was combining them. We can still leave it separate. Or have 2 sentences.
I would just go with 2 sentences.
Okay. Sounds like a plan.
All right. Let's bounce back up to number 3, John's comment. Just striking and or police.
That's fine. I only put that in. It was sort of after discussion with the Natural Resources Department, who didn't feel that they were going to be able to hire a ranger for 2 weekend days. So hoping that the police could substitute for the ranger.
Yeah, I don't think we should have police down there. That's why I just struck that.
It's fine with me. I'm happy to take it back out.
Yeah, I kind of liked it's, you know, hey town, here's an issue. attack it with however you think appropriate, but I'm fine with that in or out.
Okay. Do we just do this or are we taking votes or what are we doing?
Well, if you're
Uh,
gonna change it, I think you have to vote,
Okay.
or you could do one swell vote at the end.
Beth, we see on there muted. So I just want to make sure as we go through these that, I know Beth had some comments as well. So Carl, I don't know if you can,
Yeah, I can
Hey,
do that.
pull-
I just,
maybe if you can
want me
pull it
to
up,
do that now?
or even if you just pull it up on another screen that we don't necessarily see, but just say, did she have a comment on number 2?
Yeah.
So we are seeing your emails now.
Yeah,
Well,
I thought we were just gonna focus on the introduction, not go over the recommendations again.
But they were changed. The wording was
No,
changed.
I don't think they were changed. I thought that's why I sent out
No, they
the
were
email.
changed. Carl introduced this by
yeah,
saying he changed them.
Beth, the number 4 and number 7 were a combination, so I just
Yeah,
wanted
so
comments
just
on
the
that.
ones that were combined.
Yeah. But
Okay,
this
that
is-
was
this
done
is now-
after,
This is now Beth's comments,
Okay.
which are more.
mine was just
grammar.
a few like typos, like capitalized
Yeah.
White Pond. Yeah, I thought we were just sticking to the intro that you and Jennifer worked on, the summary statements, because the recommendations we had already voted on. I didn't know 4 and 7 were combined.
Yeah,
That was
so
happened after.
No, that was what the recommendation from the last week's meeting.
Oh,
So
Okay.
we talked about combining, we just didn't see the final language.
okay, got it. Thank you.
I mean, this is Beth's comments here, guys, and like she said, like Beth says, it's kind of just fixing stuff up.
I'm fine with Beth's changes to the introduction.
I am as well.
Agreed. Motion to approve the changes to the introduction.
I approve.
Second. All in favor, aye.
I
I,
Opposed?
So that'll be these changes and the changes in number 4 with John's. And then the striking the police comment. I have to pull that up. Whatever number that was. Oh, number
I-
3.
Carl, while you have this one up, number 1, I added something, we talked about it,
I don't like it.
APOD technology, because I know this year, Melanie and Delia mentioned that they're going to use, I believe they're going to use the S-Pod. So it's the
No.
technology that they're going to use. I didn't want to just limit it to APOD.
They are using an APOD. They're using a Sentinel APOD. The S-Pod is something entirely different. That would be a vacuum suction on the sediment at the bottom. Then no one is proposing using sediment removal at this point. It's just the APOD. It's just a Sentinel APOD.
Yeah, I thought John
You're
had
just
talked
saying
about,
and
yeah,
APOD
technology.
You're not
Yeah.
specific, yeah.
Yeah.
So no, I think that would be incorrect to add that and APOD technologies.
Well, I think in the future, because I know John mentioned that he thought that might be an idea for the future. I just don't want to just say it can only be an APOD.
Well, that's what,
Although we can leave it to the future White Pond Advisory Committee or Task Force, whatever they are, to continue to support it. I'm fine either way. I just meant the technology.
so let's remove it.
Should we strike, so we're not adding the,
So no change to number 1.
right,
okay,
No change number 2, number 3.
Why are we going through these? I thought we weren't gonna change any of them. I mean, either we're gonna discuss them or we're not gonna discuss them. The ones that that changed.
Yeah, so just that word police, we talked about that just a moment ago. So we if we want to take out the word police, or we can leave it in and only talk about 4 and 7. Okay.
I'm good either way, man.
All right, so number 4, we just talked about making that 2 sentences. So number 7. Did John
Yeah,
have,
number 7 is a combination of those maintenance,
Yep.
the 3 maintenance things that we had before.
so
And
did
again,
John
I'm
have
just
a,
asking, as long as you guys are happy with the verbiage and. the
yeah,
main,
did John
you
have
know,
a comment on that one?
Did not, nobody commented on it. Must have been fantastic.
Good job, Carl.
There you go.
Okay. I know that, okay, so I know John had a red line of striking one that was voted on, so that will remain in, but do want to acknowledge that John did strike that in his markup. Okay, so then White Pond team, the only thing I had was below that, just the way those names follow right after. Does it look like those are the names we're recommending to be on that committee?
Oh,
No.
yeah, we will
Well,
want that.
maybe just a little space, and then maybe sincerely the White Pond
Well, how
Task
about-
Force.
Yeah, how about if you just say members or something to head it up? Yes, because we're all members. We're not
Yep.
necessarily.
So you want to say 2023 White Pond Task Force members?
Yeah.
Yeah, some sort of a header and a little space.
Yeah, we
there
don't want
just
any
to-
commitment whatsoever.
and confirm.
Yeah,
That might be
You-
unanimous.
I mean,
Yeah,
you
right.
could write simply submitted by the White Pond Task Force.
there you go.
And I have no problem with our names being there or not, but it's the White Pond Task Force.
Yep, I just didn't want that to look like a recommendation of the future team.
Yeah, it's good to be clear.
Okay. Okay, I just want to review. So number 4, we're going to 2 sentences as we discussed. Number 3, getting out of the police comment. We're incorporating all of Beth's changes other than APOD technology
Just for the
No,
introduction,
And just the introduction.
just the introduction.
in the introduction. That's what I'm saying.
Yes. Yep.
And we're gonna do at the salutation, or whatever you call it.
Yep.
Whatever you call it, submitted by 2023
White Pond
White
Task
Pond
Force.
Task Force. And we want the names in?
Yeah, I'd rather not.
You don't want, you don't want your name on? Okay. Fair enough. So no names we're saying, or what are we saying?
Yeah, I like that suggestion submitted by the.
Why don't we vote on it?
I'm good. I'm not looking for notoriety, so I'm good either way.
I'm fine either way.
I'm fine either way too.
Anybody
I'm
feel
good.
strongly they want names in? Okay, let's remove the names.
No names. There's my career in government, but that's okay.
Do we have a motion to approve the report? In
Yep.
totality.
Yep.
All those in
And
favor?
I'll make these changes and send it out to everybody, hopefully tonight, if not tomorrow morning.
Great, thanks, Rob. All in favor? Aye,
I,
Right.
all opposed
One opposed.
and abstains, none. Okay,
So we got 1 abstained,
one opposed.
1 opposed, and 4 in favor.
5 in favor, I
Right,
believe.
There's only
Five.
5 of us, so who abstained?
I think it was, why don't we do it again? I think it was 5 in favor, 1 opposed.
Okay, in
Anybody-
favor?
Aye,
All right.
I,
and opposed.
Opposed.
So we're done, we can drink now? I'm sorry.
and just for the record, Ellen Cathcart and Steve have not gotten back to me on that one about maintenance, so I guess we leave it in, just see, probably I'll figure that out.
Okay, so, what is the next step? We don't have to meet again. Who will submit the report and
Once, yeah, good question. Once Carl sends, he can just send out the final version.
mhm.
And then we will hand it over to Shannon and the select board. It will go on their docket, probably not the first week in January because it's pretty late, but
May
Shannon
not go-
will guide us.
It may not go on their docket. They may just accept the report.
Yeah, so we'll work it out. And you can put that in the minutes. We will work with Shannon and Linda. We'll involve Linda and ask how they want to handle that, but we'll submit it probably to Shannon and Linda.
All right, and then nobody will, there's no formal presentation of it in person, it's just,
There may be,
Oh.
but they indicated to me that only the chairs need to do that, and they'll let us know if and when that would be.
Yes, I
Okay.
think we would have to be invited. Or it would be appropriate to be invited. I mean, there's always public comment, but if we were to, we have to be invited to present the findings of the task force.
okay.
Okay, thank you all. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
7:33 PM, meeting adjourned.